Hi, welcome to the Wellbeing Wednesday edition of the Teaching Excellence podcast. I'm just twiddling with the extension lead there so the computer doesn't fall off the table. So I'm joined today by Jacqui Cooper, and
Hi everybody.
I'm really excited. We wanted to record a quick 10 minutes about the Wellbeing Wednesday session this coming Wednesday. We've actually just finished yoga, haven't we?
We have. We've just had an amazing Kundalini yoga and meditation class this morning. This is why we've got fuzzy hair, isn't it? Just yeah, because of obviously all the work that we do, the movement within it. So it's been a hot one.
Yeah, no, it's been great. And after a tough week, Saturday mornings are always my downtime. So yeah, super chilled. But why don't you introduce yourself a little bit, and then we'll talk a little bit about what Wednesday will be.
Okay, so what would be useful for you to know? I guess I've been around quite a long time, so I've done lots of things in my life. This period of time now, I'm concentrating all my energy on helping others to heal, teaching a lot of breath work, Kundalini yoga, relaxation techniques. So I am a Kundalini yoga and meditation teacher. I'm also a holistic coach, a Reiki master and Reiki teacher. In my past life, I've been lots of other things, very entrepreneurial, even an award-winning personal stylist. In fact, that's how we met. I was doing a presentation one night, which is really interesting, and then you appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I bring lots of life skills and personal experience to the work that I do. And I went on, or have been on, a very spiritual journey for probably the last 10 years. And what really accelerated my journey is, I guess, my experience with plant medicine a number of years ago. So I've been on quite a few ayahuasca journeys, and it's really just accelerated my opening, if you like, and the work that I do just gets stronger and stronger. So yeah, definitely moving to this healing modalities that I kind of just felt guided to do. So
Which
we
is
all
amazing.
so we all have some amazing insights when we're in the space that we've created upstairs, don't we? So I don't know, does that kind of cover?
Yeah, I think that's a good intro. Yeah, I think that's a good intro. Yeah, so Wednesday, so part of the Wellbeing Wednesday, as you know, we're trying to bring people together on a Wednesday who are teachers, educators, anyone really who's involved in education, being a really pressured, hard job. And the Wednesday evenings and the Wednesday half terms are about bringing people together to learn about different things that might contribute to their well-being. And I felt really honoured that Jacqui would be part of the Wellbeing Wednesdays, because I've been coming here for a little while, and as I said, being part of having a job that's really pressured, you always have to have a space. I think it's really important now to have the space where you can just process all of that. And what we're seeing at the minute, this last week was the first week of the new term in a very crazy situation. There's so much going on, but what I've realised is there's so much fear, anxiety, stress, and therefore this Wednesday I'm really excited to bring Jacqui onto the Wellbeing Wednesday session to do some breath work and some stress sort of acknowledgement and release. So you're the expert there, so why don't you tell us about types of things?
Through personal experience, and I think that's the first and foremost, that I've some of my big learnings are really understanding how, by just changing breathing techniques, you can change emotional states and get the, if I say, power back. What I mean is really, often when we go into that level of anxiety or depression, what happens is we just start to function like a peanut, and actually we can't think. We go into that freeze, that fight or fight and fear. sort of space, if you like. So I teach a lot of what I call, not my name for them, but Kundalini breathing techniques, which is specific breathing techniques. But I also do breath work as well, and they are quite different. But what we tend to do during classes, I always like to bring in lots of things so that you can experience them and use them in a way that you can be in a situation and actually just be currently aware of how you breathe in. So
and I think that will be really useful. I was just saying to Jacqui just before we click record that this week, being quite a tough week, big emotional week for me, I've noticed, and it isn't just this week, it's been, I've started to notice it over time. When I'm stressed, all my breath is up here and I don't breathe particularly well, and I find myself out of breath. So it's that holding and tension.
Yeah, it's the first thing that happens, isn't it? We kind of either hold the breath or we stop breathing almost. And what happens is, because I can read bodies by the way that they breathe, so often what happens is most people breathe about 10 to 20% of the capacity, and it's a lot of breath up here. We just kind of shut down. And what we're going to be going through is various techniques to help you just take, as I said, that control back. So often what happens is when we're feeling in an anxious state, we're operating through fear. And what happens is when we're not able to, either physically or we don't feel within society that we can express how we feel, what happens is these emotions that we have that should come up and be expressed, when they're not being processed, when they're not able to come out, what happens is they get, if you like, embedded into the nervous system. So layer after layer after layer, they just almost begin to shut you down. So if you just think about an emotion, just hold that thought. Okay, so an emotion is just energy in motion. So they should come up and be released. And then it's said in about 15 seconds, everything should have come up and gone. But we, as I say, we don't do that. So we pack it down. But what happens is you will what I call leaky truth. So, somebody that might seem quite calm and relaxed and got it all together might be that when they get into the car, this mad woman with road rage, because it's got to get out of the body. So what the breath work does is when we start to take the right inhaler breath and we learn how to do various things, what it does is the breath, which is life force energy, really starts to, if you like, loosen the cement and starts to release these dense emotions that are trapped in the body that can manifest as fear, anxiety, shame, lots of other things as well, but we can actually start to release them through the movement and through breath.
And that is why I'm so honoured that you're part of the programme, because in education it's 100 miles an hour, and a lot of the time we can't express our concerns, our fears, our anxieties, because it's very process driven, and we just have a massive long to-do list. We're dealing with all of the emotions of our own students, and this is one of the reasons we created the Wellbeing Wednesdays. We put ourselves second or last, and we don't deal with, we can't express our emotions, or then when we finish work, it manifests in different ways. So we can be quite anxious, tense, worried, overwhelmed when we go home, which then affects our relationships with the people that we live with. So I'm really excited to bring some of that on Wednesday. And I hope you'll be able to join us.
We do have quite a lot of teachers that come in. Actually, just I don't know how much longer we've got.
No, so we'll just
So we had a teacher this morning that shared, obviously, first week back at school, and she shared that she took the kids outside in her class and she taught them a very simple breathing technique, and I was just so pleased that, you know, and I'm saying to people, look, please take these techniques and take them out into real life. It's not just for, you know, being here in this space on a yoga mat. So yeah, I'm going to teach and share with you, and you've agreed to actually just come and be with us. So you know,
I'll be
actually
live
demonstrate. And yeah, just share these techniques that are, you know, techniques for life.
So fab. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
And we'll see you on Wednesday, hopefully.
Look forward to seeing you then.
Bye.